You're listening to Family Today with Funmi Johnson.
It's another beautiful Friday morning and you're welcome to Family Today with Funmi Johnson. Today we are going to be continuing our conversation on marriage. I still have this great man who has been married for 36 years, a marriage coach, arbitration expert. I'm trying to look for all the big English to describe him, and the author of The Intelligent Marriage. Last week we talked about marriage from the point of view of singles, how to make the right decisions, what are the deal breakers. Today we want to look at the married people. He has been married for 36 years. I'm still toddling after him. So we want to talk about marriage.
Yes, ma'am.
We want to talk about marriage. If you're going to talk to people that are going through hard times in your marriage, I've gone through hard times in mine. But I thank God that through every hard time, we have upscaled.
Yeah.
We have learned to know each other better. We have also seen the rough edges on our own parts. That's for me. And I've been able to move up. What would you say to someone going through a difficult time now in their marriage?
Difficult time now in the marriage, I would say to you, let me encourage you. It's not over till it's totally over. And even then, there is resurrection power. So the dead can rise.
The dead can rise.
Dead things can live again.
The dead can rise.
We have seen it happen over and over again in different situations. I have been on the precipice more than once. And the Lord has helped. Knowledge has helped. Mentors have helped. So I say,
you're too fast.
I'm too fast.
You said something very profound. I've been on the precipice. That means I got to the point where I said, you know what? I can't take it no more. But the Lord has helped.
Yes.
Mentors have helped. You said three things.
Knowledge.
Knowledge has helped. The Lord, mentors, knowledge. We're going to break this down because what we want to do is we want to help people who are on the precipice. Some people have already broken down. But let me say this to those people that their marriages are already broken down. They are already divorced. They have the papers. I know a particular story. This man and this wife, they were divorced. Not in Nigeria though. The man had to leave the house for the woman. But he went back every fortnight to mow the lawn. And the daughter kept observing. And he would be available at the school events and all those things. And then when the daughter was 18, he now had a conversation with the dad and said, I see other people whose family are separated. Their dads don't come to their house and they don't come to mow the lawn. And he said, one time when I was still living there, I saw a snake. And I wanted to make sure that the grass is not tall enough to be able to harbor snake or scorpion, anything that could harm the family. Do you know that not only did the marriage come back, I think they were separated or divorced for like 15 years. The husband and wife came back because of the kindness. So even if you're divorced, you're listening to us today. I know you call it irreconcilable difference, but there's still a place for humanity. There's still a place for kindness. There's still a place for grace. There's still a morality in being responsible. I felt that was really huge. Going back and told them, and that made the daughter endear to the dad.
Yes.
That you cared for us enough. But when the children left home, he was still going to do it when he was just the wife.
The wife in the house.
That was in the house. I don't know if he would have continued though if the woman remarried. But I'm just trying to say that even when we get to that point, when we are separated, can we still maintain peace?
Of course we can.
Harmony.
It's a possibility.
Cordiality.
Yes. It's a possibility.
So please, you said the mentor, knowledge
and the Lord.
And the Lord. Can you break this down?
Now,
because I want us to help somebody to see maybe that person can be reinstated.
Yes.
And not have to go the downward slope.
Yes. Now, obviously, there's some sort of overlap between those three things. So I'll start with the Lord.
The Lord.
Okay, so I'm speaking primarily to believers now. And even those who are not believers can cry out to the name of the Lord in their desperation. And God's ears are open to hear all humanity when they call on Him. So you're really desperate, call for a figure that's bigger than you to help you. Okay, so that we start with the Lord there. So I remember in my first year of marriage, the first time, I call it the first time my wife left me. That's the way I saw it. But that was apparently not what was going on. But she needed a break. I need a break. I need to go. I can't do this. I can't do this. Packed a bag and went somewhere to some of our friends. Well, I knew where she was going, but you know what? I was terrified. I didn't think she would come back. I honestly thought that was it. I was so scared. I was terrified of losing her. We were doing it quite badly. So I prayed, and I'm sure she was praying too, and she went to people who could pray as well. And they prayed with her, and my friends prayed with me, and we sought the Lord and all that, and He helped. So that's an example of that. And she did come back.
So what I'm saying to you, if you're listening to me, and you're at that point where you say it's too much, can you please take it to God?
Take it to God.
First.
Absolutely. Pray
take it to
hard.
God and get other people that can join you. You know, Esther told Mordecai.
Yes.
He said, tell the people to pray for me. Because sometimes we get to the point where we're not even sure how far our prayer can get to.
Exactly.
So you need to call for reinforcement. So get people to pray for you. That's number one.
That's number one. And number two is about knowledge. The little knowledge I had then, I mean, we're going back, 35 years now, right? 34, 35 years. The little knowledge I had then, I'll tell you now, and it's still very recommendable. I had this little, very slim book by Derek Prince called The Marriage Covenant. In fact, I mentioned it in here as well.
I read it in your book.
That book saved my marriage more than twice.
Wow.
To be honest, because...
is the book still in print?
I believe it's still in print. If not, find it on eBay or second-hand places. They're all over the...
Buy the
small
truth, sell it not.
And it's incredible.
The Marriage Covenant by Derek Prince.
Anointed man of God. That truth pierced my soul. It was the only thing I could read before we got married. And it stayed with me, and I think I've read it twice or thrice since then. Now, Derek Prince instilled in me the sense of covenant, like I've never understood it before, and I've never heard anyone speak about it like that since then. I've read a few things in my life, okay? So each time we were at a place of real shaking, I remembered covenant. I remembered covenant. I remember a time when I said to Margaret, listen, love, we've always said no divorce in our books, right? It's back in the dictionary. I said, there's divorce in the dictionary now. It's there. So here's what we're gonna tell me now, please. Please, I'm telling you, this is, tell me now, please. Do you want to do this? Should we carry on? Please, because you know what? You're tired, I'm tired. Should we try? Said yes. Yeah, because I wanted to. Went for counseling, and Derek Prince popped in again into my mind, and so that knowledge,
So the knowledge
about
you got
covenant,
knowledge from the book, then from intelligent conversation.
Yes.
Then you submitted yourself to counseling.
Absolutely.
The Bible says, in multitude of counsel, there is safety.
There is safety. Absolutely. So overlapping that with mentors, which is the third point. My pastor of those days, Pastor Robert Robb, they're mentioned here as well, and his wife too, white folk, beautiful people. He was my best friend at the time for lots of time. So they also saved our marriage. They're mentors. They showed us how marriage could be better than what we were going through. They weren't perfect themselves, and they said no. They were ahead of us by years and by experience and by vitality. We saw that if we could at least achieve what these people had, we will be doing well. We'll be doing better. And they walked us through it, bit by bit. Mentors, they shared their home with us, their holidays with us, their children with us. They just showed, and they were the ones also that helped me to overcome my fear of having children. One of the incredible things Pastor Rob said to me, I'll never forget, I must share this, I share it everywhere I can. He said to me, Femi, you have got to respond and react redemptively.
What does that mean?
That means you must always seek to solve a problem and make things better. Never seek to win.
Wow.
I preach it everywhere I go.
Never
it's in this book.
To
win.
To win.
W-I-N. Never seek to win. Well, of course, that's all I've been saying. I've been looking for justification, vindication, reparation, everything from my wife. Like, you, me.
How will you say that to me? That's
me.
insulting.
Somebody needs to tell me that she's wrong. You're still looking for punishment. You want to shame her. She wants to shame. He said,
you want to prove that you're right.
He said, stop it.
Look
Stop
at
it.
things
Redemptively. Redeem whatever is going wrong, like Jesus did to us. He could have wiped us out, right? But he went through the passion for us.
Someone told me, would you rather win the war than be holy?
Yes.
And that was what hit me.
Yes.
In my low moments, the times when I feel, but this man is wrong. He is clearly wrong. Then I will hear that gentle voice say to me, okay, I agree with you, he's wrong. But would you rather be right
Yes.
than be holy?
Yes.
And I said, I want to be holy.
Yeah,
Then
you can win the war, lose the battle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why don't you drop your rightness and embrace?
So the Lord, knowledge, mentors, saved our marriage multiple times. I have mine, she has hers. We have overlaps of these people in our lives. We have peer mentoring as well, like a group of friends about the same age, about the same level of experience, and and we get together once or twice a year, and there are no holds barred, and people talk. Sometimes there's crying, sometimes there's repairing. We eat, we drink, we talk, we pray, and then we're better off for it.
Can I ask you this? Can you identify one or two triggers or circumstances that you think aided the rough times? If there's a way we can help people to take away themselves from toxic environments that could affect their marriage adversely. Because sometimes, like you talked about peer influence positively.
Yes.
Could there also be peer influence negatively or societal expectations that would affect the marriage and cause a problem?
Absolutely.
Or are all the challenges you went through, were they all internal? Were there some external?
To be honest, in my situation, I would say that most of my challenges were developmental ones. They were personal. They were about my personal development, maturity. Okay, I was young and also fairly ignorant, actually, and so was she, in all fairness. And so we were fighting about our differences rather than trying to unite our differences.
We're going to have to say that again.
We're fighting about
So
our
most of the problems we
Yes.
have in marriage is we fighting our differences.
Yes.
Why you do things the way you do this.
Yes.
Rather than harmonizing our
Yes.
differences.
What I say is people need to track their personalities and proclivities and the changes that are happening in such a way that they can engineer intentionally those differences to be productive rather than to be regressive. So the things that are different in us now, we bring them together and they make us better.
Come on.
Rather than you must follow my way, I must follow your way.
You know, one of the things I talk a lot about finances. And I say most homes you always have the spender and the saver. And I think it's a beautiful combination. Because when you come in as a spender, you want to spend. I come in as a saver, I want to save. I'm not talking about the hoarder. That's people. The hoarder is a stingy one. If husband and wife are actually working together with those differences, they will be best at investment. They will be best at, buying deals and all that. But if I fight you being a saver and you fight me being a spender, we're going to keep running into trouble.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Some people are tidy, some people are neat.
Yes.
Some people are timekeepers, some people are latecomers.
And sometimes these things can change or they can be adapted, or you can intentionally forget about that's just me. I will always be like that. No. Besides, you're changing without even knowing it. None of us are the same permanently.
None of
Change
us.
is the only constant.
None of
We're
us.
constantly changing physiologically, mentally, emotionally.
I told you
We're all
before I
this
came
way.
to I said I'm a lousy cook, right? I don't like cooking. But since I became a grandma, I study.
Now you have incentive.
I Google
Yes.
how to, because my grandbaby is exclusively breastfed, and now that we're bringing her to semi-solid, I am making meals 3 days straight,
Well done.
trying to get the spinach, the broccoli. I go shopping myself, and then she's not supposed to eat salt. I want to make the chicken without salt, and I look for alternative seasoning. And I don't like cooking. I still don't like cooking, but I love
Serving your grandchild. That's it. And that's what we do sometimes.
wow.
Okay, so I know we're pretty much rounding up, but let me throw something in there very quickly. I'd like to use a couple of passages 1 John 5:14. 1 John 5:14 says about the Lord, it says, if we ask anything according to his will, we know that he hears us. And hearing us, we know we'll receive the petitions we have asked of him. Yes. I say, extrapolate from that, translate it into a marriage relationship. If I ask anything according to your will, I know you will hear me. And if you hear me, you will do it.
No, give me that rev. Give me that rev. No, you're not going in a hurry. You are not. No. This is what we're going to do. This one, you're going to start from there. Now, at this point, I'm going to have this man go, but I won't let him really go. So the next half, I'll let him do all the talking. I'll just interject briefly. But there was somebody saying. So we continue that conversation after the short break. Paul says it is better for a single man to marry than to burn. Are you single, married, widowed, separated, or divorced? Join me on Family Today.
Family Today with Funmi Johnson is one program that will bring you in alignment with who you truly are and open your mind to how you rock your significant interpersonal relationships while sidestepping the landmines, culture, religion, and society have laid in your path. Family Today with Funmi Johnson goes where others are shy to go and shines the light in the dark corners others have forgotten. Tune in at 11:30 a.m. every Friday to listen to Family Today with Funmi Johnson on Inspiration 92.3 FM.
Oh, now you're welcome back. Remember, you can follow us, Femi Ogunbanwo, and you can follow the Funmi Johnson. Now, this is what we want to do. We was talking about 1 John 5:14, and that's one of my scriptures when we are praying intercession.
Yes, it's a prayer verse.
But I want you to say it the way you said it because it hit me.
So, yes, it is a prayer verse, and John was teaching about confidence of saying things and receiving, but I extrapolate a principle from it.
Come on.
I work with principles. And the principle is this, basically. The passage says, if we ask anything according to his will, we know, this is the confidence, we know that he hears us. And that hearing is a hearing unto doing. And hearing us, we know that we have received those things with petition of him. Now, if we extrapolate from that and bring it into a marriage relationship, and if I ask anything according to Margaret's will, I know she will hear me. So then the job is to know Margaret's will.
So the job of the spouse is to know
what your spouse's will is.
But how do I know that, though?
Well, this comes from conversation and interaction. You open your eyes, open your ears, and where you're not sure, you clarify with questions. It's as simple as that. Don't assume anything. If you're not certain about it, simply ask clarifying questions like you do at work, for goodness sake. Like you do at work in an environment you're not sure, you ask questions, then you know. Okay? So if I extrapolate, if Margaret does ask anything according to my will, she knows I will hear her. So then her job is to know my will. And as we go on like that, where you know my will, but don't agree with my will, then we have a discussion about the pertinence or the importance of that will.
Because there needs to be an alignment.
An alignment of it. Then you need to agree with it, but then there's a stage before that. You know my will first, but you need to understand it. Because you can't agree or disagree with what you don't understand. You have to understand it first of all. So if you don't understand that person, you have a guess about this is how they will prefer it, this is how, and you just ask clarifying questions. Then you understand it. Then you start living like that. For instance, now this may not work for everyone, but in my household, basically, my wife's in charge of the house. I came to that conclusion several years ago. I handed it all over to her. If I get home now, chances are all the furniture have been moved around, everything. Margaret's will, I'm happy with it. Even if I don't like that yellow, it's her will, okay? My will, on the other hand, is, for instance, let's say we're going to change our audiovisual equipment. She's going to leave that to me.
She's going to defer to
She's going to defer that to me. So there are things that we have spread into our roles and responsibilities, but it comes from knowing each other's personalities, proclivities, and our aspirations and things, how we want life to look like.
Now, can you look at your life in two sides.
Yes.
The time when things were not going smoothly in the marriage,
Yes.
and the time when it's going smoothly. What happened?
What happened is knowledge and mentoring.
Knowledge and mentoring.
I was fighting ridiculous fights then. I can speak for myself. I mean, I can speak for her too, but probably not
speak
fair.
for yourself.
Speak for myself. I was just a ridiculous young man in many respects. Looking back right now, I thought she was trying to control me in many respects, and I wasn't having that.
Please, why do men think?
Sometimes it's because of our backgrounds. I can't speak for other men generically.
No, but generally, a lot of men think that their wives want to control them.
Well, my mom gave me a bad time.
Oh.
My mom gave us a bad time.
She was hard.
She was a force of nature. My mom gave us, and I didn't even know that I had made an inner vow until later.
I'm not going to take that from no one anymore.
I'm not taking that from anyone. It took me years to finally get that. Oh, that's what I'm fighting my mother.
Oh, wow. Transferred aggression.
Yes. So any simple thing. It all
I said no.
No. Like, Femi, look, we're short. In our first year, we're short of funds.
Which is normal.
Can we have chicken instead of beef?
No, I won't beef.
That's it. That's the end of the matter.
Meanwhile, that's because your mom would say, we're all eating chicken today, and that's it.
That's if we have anything. You know? So that's that. So I was ridiculous. I fought her. I did not recognize her areas of strength as strength. I saw her areas of strength as domineering, as control. She reacted to me because her dad was a different kind of man, very loving, very providing, and I wasn't very, my prospects were not high. She saw the red flags, but she went with me anyway. In fact, I was talking about this with a friend just yesterday with my books. I said, she saw the red flags. She saw that I was no good with money. I covered it up with faith. I gave my money away or spent it. And I took
Are you the spender I was talking about?
Initially, she was the saver. So that's one thing, that principle there. Ask things according to your spouse's will, and you're more likely to see things happen. Let me reinforce that with one from 1 Corinthians 7. Paul saying, I wish to save you trouble in the flesh, because a single person is devoted to the Lord, but a married person is devoted, using exactly the same term and language, to their spouse, how they may please them. So he's saying, it's not enough to just say, I'm serving the Lord, I'm a Christian. You have to be devoted to
learn how to
please your spouse.
You need to learn
it. In the same way we've learned how to please the Lord. Just because I got born again doesn't mean I know how to please the Lord.
In my house, I was an only girl, so we're a bit abrasive. And we say it as it is.
Yes.
And I just noticed I would just say no like that. And my husband would not find it funny. So I had to learn how to say the same no in a different way.
But he saw those red flags too, and he still married you.
What he was saying was, who do you think you are? Meanwhile, I was just saying no the way I've said it all my life.
No, exactly.
I say no, and that's no.
So that's the job.
So we have to learn.
We have to learn how to please
if
one
not,
another.
Our good will be evil spoken of.
Yes. We have to learn how to please each other. Absolutely. And it's in every arena. It's in finances. It's in decorative order of a house. It's in going out. It's in
food choice.
It's everything. It's in sex.
It's in clothes. How you
clothing, yes. Yeah. How you dress. How you wear your beard. Yes.
Do you want it big? Do you want it? You have. I like it this way. Oh my goodness!
This is better. Yeah. Sometimes you have to draw it out of the other person because they don't want to infringe on what you like. So you have to actually draw it out of them. Tell me, be honest with me. Do you like this? I've had to draw that out of my wife to say, listen, I dress for myself, but I also dress for you. Okay, if everyone's complimenting me and you're looking with me with side eye.
Or you're not happy with the way.
You're not happy with me, my confidence is down there. Really. Sorry, quick aside. Only two people tend to make me cry. Jesus and Margaret. everybody else can take a ticket and fall in line.
Even me?
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
supposed to be your friend.
You're my friend, but that's why I said take a ticket. Even those who are not
Okay,
friends.
give me first class.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna take a ticket, just give me first class.
First class ticket, okay. But enough said. So know the will of your partner and work at pleasing them.
Work at. I think that is really where marriage breaks.
Yes.
Marriage, I think, is like a beautiful garden. I love plants.
Yes.
But a garden that is not nurtured, you're not weeding it, you're not putting manure and all that.
Yes.
There was a time I got this orchid, and for 2 years, I said, if you told me you were coming, I will send you. Can you get me orchid plant? I ordered several just because I wanted the orchid to bloom.
Yes.
Until I found out, though, that all the orchids I was seeing were all artificial. So I kept looking at myself. I checked the pot.
Yes.
They told me you don't use normal clay. I got the imported things. I got everything. Orchid food, orchid plant. Meanwhile, the orchid would only bring flowers in the particular temperature.
Yes.
So I did not get that knowledge. If I had put the orchid in that temperature, plus all the things I did, I would have gotten the flowers that I wanted. But I didn't get it. So sometimes also we compare our marriage with other people's marriages, and then we don't put our marriage in the right atmosphere. We will never get what we want. I have just about 5 minutes to the end of this show. I want you to please help me say 1, 2, 5, 10, 50 marriages. Family Today is committed to building formidable families. We are not able to open the phone lines today because I want us to suck everything we can get from him. Just imagine 10 marriages before you. What would you say to them in 5 minutes? Just take the pulpit and preach.
So I always default back to the beginning, to my primary principles when I'm asked that. My primary principles are foundation and framework.
Foundation and framework. Okay.
So the foundation has to be about definitions. We've dealt with some of that already.
Definition of marriage.
What is marriage? And how does it normally work? And how does it work well? So definitions like that. So I would say to you, like we've already said in the previous episode about marriage, that the crucial things in there are to realize that you need to have a common cause and you need to have a desire for true intimacy.
But is it possible for someone that has been married, say 10 years, 15 years, can they go back to having that common cause now?
Yes, they can. In fact, it's one of the things that I do with people that I coach. That it may not be in the first few sessions, but invariably we want to get back to a place of you have to have something you're working at together and looking forward to together. You must be co-laborers in that thing, common cause.
But what if you're not able to get your spouse to agree with you?
Well, then if you're completely out of negotiation, bring in a third party. I would say go to a third party. Go to a professional counselor, or go to your pastoral staff if they are skilled in counseling. Not every pastor is skilled in counseling. Go to somebody who can help you, especially if both of you are willing. Okay, the willingness test is important. If both parties are willing, they're just deficient of knowledge, information, and then go and find it. In the same way you will go for your continuous personal development, your CPT training in your profession, do that with your marriage. So it's all doable. I mean, at work, if you can't do that project, you don't give up, do you?
Maybe you need to learn a skill.
You learn a skill. You learn a skill and you do the project, and then you're better. That's what we do with marriages. We do that. So I want to say to people like that they should definitely think like that. The other thing about frameworks is that was foundational stuff. The framework is about roles and responsibilities, biblical roles and responsibilities. Now that's a big, wide subject. And I appreciate that there are different ideas and thoughts about it from different schools of thought and so on. Now, reading my book, you discover what I say about that. But once you can clarify for yourselves, at least, because not every marriage is a Christian marriage.
And homes differ one from another.
Absolutely. So what you need is to clarify for yourselves, use this as a guideline, but once you discover for yourself roles and responsibilities, stay in your lane. Do what you said you will do.
Be responsible.
Be responsible and be ready for accountability. Now and again, I've said to Margaret, oh, I'll do that. That's my job. I'll do that. Yeah, I'll do that. And then 5 months later, she said,
"It's slipping out."
No, that's not even how it used to play out. But we don't have time for that. But now we're in a place where it's a case of Femi.
You said
you said you would do this. Please, just
do it.
Yes, still with courtesy. So thank you.
Thank you so very much. Thank you for coming, and we are really excited. And we hope that when you do come to Nigeria again, you will be our guest.
I'll touch base with you, and it will be my honor.
Thank you so much. The Intelligent Marriage is a book I just came across. I read it, and that's why I have to bring the author here. If we're forming formidable families, you should get this book on Amazon and on Seller. Go get the copy now. Remember, follow the Funmi Johnson.
Family Today with Funmi Johnson is powered by the Capstone Church Without Walls.